Hi, my fabulous fourth grade friends. Today we're going to talk about symmetry. So you can see up here, I've written line of symmetry. And let's look at the definition. It says, a line that divides an object into congruent halves. Now remember, we've talked about congruent means same size, same shape. So think about that when we're talking about a line of symmetry. Now, a fact about it is, an object may have more than one line of symmetry. It can have 0 lines of symmetry, 1 line of symmetry, or even more. And then I've given you some examples and non-examples, but we're going to go back to those. So one thing I like to start with when we're doing symmetry is to use the shape of a heart. It's really one of the easiest ones. And the way I like to explain this is, if I fold this in half, do the sides match up? Look at that. They do. And I have the same side on each half. So I have congruent halves. So this object has 1 line of symmetry down the center. But let's check. What if I fold it horizontally? What's going to happen? Does it meet up? No, it doesn't. So this only has 1 line of symmetry down the center. So we have 2 columns, objects that have symmetry, objects that do not have symmetry. So this is definitely one that has symmetry. Let's look at a triangle. Well, we talked about it. We have to be able to fold it or draw a line in it and have the same shape on both sides. So let's see what happens if I fold it. Is that going to work? Do I have the same shape on both sides? No. What if I fold it horizontally? Do I get the same shape? No. So this object actually has, or this triangle actually has no lines of symmetry. So we're going to put it, does not have symmetry. All right. Now, look at this shape. A lot of you are going to remember, oh, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, so I remember it's a pentagon. Just looking at that pentagon, what do you think? Do you think it has any lines of symmetry? Well, let's do a vertical line first and test. If I fold it down the center, do you notice my sides what? They match up. So it definitely has 1 line of symmetry, but let's check for another line. If we fold it horizontally, what happens? It doesn't match up. Now with symmetry, you can also fold on the diagonal. What happens if we do that? Does it match up? No. So how many lines of symmetry does this pentagon have? That's right, it has 1 line of symmetry. We're going to put it over here with our objects that have, let's put it here, lines of symmetry. Okay, what if I show you the letter F for fabulous fourth grade? Well, let's do like we've been doing, but this time let's fold it first horizontally. What do you notice? Does it match up? Does it have congruent shapes on each side? No. So let's try it a different way. Can we fold it vertically? It's kind of tricky. Well, does that match up? Nope. Can we fold it diagonally? Does that work? So what do you know about this F for fabulous fourth graders? It does not have any lines of symmetry. All right, here's a good one. You know this shape, it's a rectangle. Now, what do you notice about the rectangle? Well, let's see. Let's see if we can find any lines of symmetry. So we're going to fold it. Let's fold it vertically. Ah, I bet you already knew that was going to happen. So there's 1 line of symmetry. Can we fold it horizontally? Oh, look what happens there. It matches up. So far we have a vertical line and a horizontal line of symmetry. Let's try diagonally. Does that work? Nope. So how many lines of symmetry does this rectangle have? You got it. It's got 2. So we're going to say it has lines of symmetry. And then this is one of my favorite shapes to look at, and I bet you'll see this a lot. So it's an arrow. It could be pointing any of the ways. It doesn't really matter. But what I want you to think about is, does it have any lines of symmetry? Let's fold it vertically first. What do you notice? It does. It matches up exactly, and you have the same shape on both sides, so it's congruent. Let's fold it horizontally. Well, what happens? Doesn't match up. So does this shape, does this arrow have any lines of symmetry? Yes, and how many? Right, it only has one. So it's going to go under our objects that have lines of symmetry. And then here's the last one we're going to look at. Notice my little lightning bolt. Now, this one's look a little tricky because I look at it and I kind of first think, well, maybe it will have some symmetry. So let's try. Let's fold it horizontally first. Well, when I do that, it's a little tricky, but does it match up exactly? It doesn't. Can we fold it? I'm going to tear it, so what's going to happen? Does it match up if we fold it this way? No. So does this little lightning bolt have any lines of symmetry? It does not. So we're going to put it under our no lines of symmetry, objects that do not have symmetry. So let's look again at our definition of lines of symmetry. A line that divides an object into congruent halves. And we noticed with these shapes, we were able to fold them and we had the same shape and same size on each side of the fold. And an object may have more than one line of symmetry. Do you remember which of these had more than one line? That's right, the rectangle did. And then I gave you this as an example. This is how you would see it normally because you won't have the papers to fold. You just have to draw the line and look, do I have congruent shapes on either side of the line I've drawn? And then I gave you a non-example of this triangle because if I draw a line right here, it's not going to be congruent on both sides. If I draw a line across, this tip's going to come down and it won't be congruent either. So that's just a real basic introduction to symmetry. We're going to be working on this, but symmetry is really a fun thing to do in 4th grade. So keep up the great work, and I hope you have a fantastic day.